G'day YouTube. There's a reason that the McDonald's Big Mac is already 50 years old. Firstly, it's full of preservatives and hasn't actually got mold yet, but seriously, it's one of their most popular products ever. Coming in second only after their fries, which I'm going to actually combat in one of my next videos. So since eating low carbs, I really still wanted to be able to have one of these Big Macs. So today I'm showing you the greatest low carb version of a Big Mac that tastes better than the real thing with the original sauce. Sit down, strap in, and get ready to witness the litness. Guys, it's Chris here again from Low Carb Life, and tonight I am making the famous McDonald's Big Mac, and it is going to be bigger and better than you've ever had before. I have made this so many times, and it is always way better than Macca's. If I go to Macca's, I'm always sorely disappointed by the pipsqueak little buns they give you and the average beef they give you. Whereas when you do it yourself, you can amp up every ingredient to the next level and make yourself the happiest man in the world, or woman if you're one. Now guys, I'm not here to fornicate with arachnids. I've made this Big Mac sauce myself, and I can guarantee you that it is the finest of stuff. I can guarantee you that this beef was mooing at least at some point. And I can tell you that the cheese is so fresh that it was probably mooing at some point as well. So I'm looking forward to eating that melted upon my beautiful Big Mac. And the reason I am bothering to put rabbit food on this burger is because I've grown the lettuce myself. Well, actually I didn't, Chuck did, but I'll claim it anyway. It's still pretty good. Other than that, guys, it's pretty quick, it's pretty straightforward. Let's get into it. Make sure before you get your hands dirty, sloshed, and covered in my Big Mac sauce, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button now before it's too late. So this is by far the best recipe for the Big Mac sauce that I've tried. I've tested out about 5 different versions. So we've got 3/4 cup of mayo here, big tablespoon of mustard, 2 tablespoons of chopped up pickles, and 2 tablespoons of the onion chopped up as well. And we've got a bit of garlic powder, a bit of spoonful of that, a bit of paprika, same sort of amount, and a bit of onion powder as well. And a little bit of garlic as well, because it just really brings out a bit of extra flavor. But guys, honestly, it's incredible. Make sure you try this stuff. I'm making a big batch of it because it is awesome, and I'll put it on everything. Righto, we are going to get started with the Big Mac sauce. So this stuff you want to make ahead of time if you can, because when you put the onion and the pickle in the sauce mixture, the flavors combine and make a way better sauce. So start off by chopping up around about half a pickle and dice it finely. Don't worry about too much, getting them even. Just chop them up nice and thin. Then we're going to cube up our onions into tiny little kind of cubes. Next, we're going to put in our garlic powder, which is about a teaspoon, and same with the onion powder and the paprika as well, about a half teaspoon of that. We want a big tablespoon of mustard. Guys, you can change this to taste, but I would definitely recommend using American mustard. If you don't have that, you could probably swap in some Dijon without too much trouble. And then we're going to give that a really good stir. You want to make sure these powders don't clump up and leave dry bits, because no one wants a powdery sauce. That wouldn't be very nice. But give it a hell of a good stir there, and then we're going to let that rest for a while in the fridge after we've put in our tablespoon of vinegar. So I've got white wine vinegar here. You could use white vinegar as well. That is just as delicious. And then we're going to add a little bit of sweetness. I've got a bit of stevia here, and I'm going to put about a half teaspoon of that in. And then give that a good stir around so it dissolves. It dissolves a lot easier here in the vinegar than putting it into the sauce and hoping that it dissolves in there. Otherwise, people will be like, why did you put sand in your Big Mac sauce? Because it'll be crunchy. So give that a good stir as well. It helps it to get a bit more runny as well. It'll thicken up as those powders absorb the moisture, so don't worry if it looks too runny at that point. Give it a hell of a taste, and trust me, that is amazing. Righto, so we're going to get on to making our minced beef patties, and grab your baking paper. We're going to smash it out with that, and then realize that you have just run out of baking paper and get very frustrated, and now go down to the shops and get some more bloody baking paper. God damn it, honestly, that is so frustrating, drive you mad. Change of plan, could not be stuffed going down to the shops, so we're going to grab some cling wrap and have a crack at using this instead. Do the ups to the inanimate object being that baking paper and make yourself feel like a bigger man about yourself. Then we're going to get our cling wrap and layer that over the thing. Make sure you absolutely stuff tearing that up. Totally wreck it, and so it's nearly unusable. And then spread it out, try and fix your total cock up here. And then look at the sticker that says you're bloody nearly out of cling wrap as well. And then just have a little cry to yourself, sit in the corner for a minute and gather your shit together again before we reconvene, getting the Glad wrap underneath. So grab the other layer of your silly, bloody nearly empty Glad wrap and stuff it on there, and then we're going to tuck it underneath so our meat doesn't stick to it and it's easy to peel off. Alrighty guys, let's get our beef on there. Now I am making 2 burgers, so I'm making 4 little patties, so I'm just going to divide that into quarters as evenly as you can. You don't want any lopsided buns. Honestly, I don't really care, to be honest, but you know, if you're trying to make a good presentation or you're dating a new chick, you know, try and make them even if you can. And then we're just going to roll them into balls. Guys, you don't need to see this in normal motion. Let's speed it up a bit. Now I'm probably closer to Edward Scissorhands when it comes to making things neat and rolling nicely, but just get them as close to a circle as you can, and then we're going to squash them out anyway. Don't worry, because we're going to be absolutely brutalizing them with a meat tenderizer hammer anyway. So if you haven't nailed anything in a while, now's your chance. Righto, so belting your meat serves 2 purposes. It's going to thin it out so it cooks really quickly on the barbecue without overcooking the meat. And it also serves to make it as tender as a ribeye with a broken heart. Once you've got it as round as the circle of life, we are going to tuck those edges in on the patty so they don't flop off on the barbecue and waste the meat, because we love the meat. Get it on your plate. We're going to whack that in the freezer later so it holds its shape better on the barbie. Alright, let's hammer these rest of our patties out until they are flat as Justin Bieber's voice is. Oh yeah, look at that. Now we've got that one just about as thin as my wallet. Once you've finished up nailing these ones out, you're going to be as happy as the cow that isn't on the plate here. Righto folks, now you've got them on the plate, we're going to give them a bit of a spray of oil and pop a bit of salt on there. We're using the light salt again. Lift them up and spread that underneath. Make sure you're covering all the surfaces because that's starting to season deeply. Then we're going to cut a few strips of our baking paper that was not wasted in the end, and we're going to use this. Flip them over, spray a bit more oil on top, then we're going to get a bit more oil and a bit of pepper on top on this side. You don't want pepper on the both sides unless you really want it peppery. Remember, these are thin and the pepper will burn on the barbecue sometimes, so just take it easy. We only want to flash this. So get them onto a nice plate. The baking paper will stop them sticking to each other, and it's going to make it a lot easier for us to get them onto the barbie. Wake up if you've fallen asleep, and we're going to get that away, and we're going to chop our lettuce quite finely. Guys, it's just how Macca's does it, so let's just do what they do. They're onto a good thing here. So nice and fine, chop it up. I just cross-hatch it a bit as well, but go from there. Then we've got our rabbit food done. Next, we're going to triple P. Prepare our pickles and onion for perfection. So get them chopped up nicely. The onion is that nice thin kind of cubed chopped upness, because it's good on the burger, how it is. Righto guys, well we're going to get them in the barbecue here, so piffer open, realise that you haven't quite cleaned it since last time and give it a good scrape. Hold your non-sturdy barbecue very stiffly and then give it a hell of a rub. Make sure you use a wire bristle brush so you can be as lucky as one of the blokes in the news lately who ate one of these and had his insides turned outwards. Let's get them on. Alright. Tactics. Well, I've got no tactics, so we're just going to try our best. Grab your little frozen half patty, piff them in there, be quick. Get the next one in there onto an absolutely shit hot barbecue and move them out of the way of each other so they don't fight on the grill. Alright, let's close that down. You don't want to take too long here, guys. This is why they're super thin. You got to have it super hot. You want it flashing and then burning, but don't burn it. And then we'll pull it off and put it on the burger. Alright. Alright, time to flip them. Look at that. Shrunken up nicely. They're absolutely stunning. Let's get them. Quick flip.
Oh,
Super ninja flip. Even better. Oh, that one's stuck. You win some, you lose some, but you get most of them. I tend to do this. Of course I'm going to wash this. Funny tale. So I'll tell you a cheeky story about an incident that happened. Before we had this nice little Weber barbecue, we had a bigger barbecue that was less efficient, and I'll tell you what, I went to the poor people's shop and I got some of their sausages because I was on the way home and it looked good, it was a good deal. So I got about 600 sausages for about $10 and I was like, well, that's pretty good, can't beat that, let's feed these to a party. Whacked them in the freezer. So a mate of mine and I did decide to cook a few of them. We may have had a cheeky lemonade or two that night. Now once we decided to cook them, we put them on and they disintegrated into skins of sausages and proceeded to engulf the entire barbecue, and we are left with the remnants up here, which has turned into a mold patch. Seriously, ginormous flames. It got to the point that Chuck came outside and hit it with a fire blanket. Meanwhile, a mate and I were standing here with a beer, not sure what quite went wrong, and had a bit of a laugh. That's not funny story, number 102 for you guys only. We're having a look. Oh boy, they have shrunk it a lot. But they're very thin.
Oh my god. Deja vu.
Now guys, I'm not even going to try to talk here, because turn your barbecue off, because if you don't, you'll waste your whole bottle of gas and you'll have the fire brigade at your house. Don't ask me how I know that. Alright guys, now we're going to get our bit of butter in the pan. We're going to toast these guys up to make sure they're crispy all the way through and delicious. So what I'm going to do to start with, I actually haven't done this before, we're going to test this out and see how it goes. That's what it's all about. Get your hot pan, give it a bit of a whirl inside the pan, right? Once you've got that done, we're going to pop in our top of the Big Mac bun. Give that a bit of a swirl, she should start going. Continue for the rest. I'm using salted butter. I did put salt in the recipe of the actual buns, but we're going to see how we go. It's on a medium-low heat. I don't want to burn them. These are low-carb buns, so I'm not sure how well they react, but look, let's just find out what happens. This is smelling so good. I put butter in there and I love butter. Butter is bloody great. Butter actually makes the world go round. If you didn't know, it actually rotates on an axis of dairy. So if you miss dairy, look at it. Get a load of that. Get that in your eyeballs. Have a look. And I'm about to toss this one over. Not so good, but let's retoss that. Guys, you don't need to see that. But this one looks really good. So concentrate on this one. It looks great. We're finally here at assembly. So sit down, be quiet, and get ready to listen to the principal. Alright, now, firstly, we're going to get our bottom layer. She's nice and toasty, and we're going to grab a spoon and we're going to get some sauce. Let's get this bad boy on here. Grab a good spoon of sauce. Make sure you get it around. Make sure you put way too much on because everyone likes way too much. Right, you want it dripping out the sides so your friends look at it and they're like, damn, that's a good burger. Next, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of our onion all around. Now, if you followed my Big Mac sauce recipe, you'll know there's a bit of onion in there already, so you should be pretty right with that. Next, grab some of our lettuce. We're going to pop a bit of this on. No one actually likes lettuce on a burger, but you know what? It's got to go on, otherwise it's not a Big Mac. Next, we're going to pop this on. This is the middle part of the burger. I'm not sure. That's actually not what happens. We reverse that. As wife has said, do not do that. You have screwed this up. So, grab your first piece of meat.
Cheese.
Grab your first piece of cheese from yonder. Cheese. So cheese goes on the burger. Now, do we grab a piece of meat?
Yeah.
We do grab a piece of nice meat. We're going to put that on. That looks fantastic. Now, I'm just going to have a stab at this and say, I think we put the bread on. Let me re-stab at this. I'm probably going to murder something by the end of this, but I'm going to say that probably, maybe I cheated, but I think we need to put some pickle on there. I have managed to get myself in quite a pickle, but at the same time, with the amount of pickles that I do eat, I'm probably going to turn into one anyway, so I don't really care. Alright, once we've got that, I must assume that we put the bread on now. Thanks, Duke. We are good. Bread goes on. All right, that is looking good. Now, I'm gonna go for more sauce. I don't care what the recipe says. I'm just gonna bang it on because that seems like the best option. Bread soaks up sauce. I'm all about that. Let's get it on there. Now, guys, you will notice that this sauce is the golden colour. It's absolutely beautiful, as much as the goldenness of the bread we've got here, and as the goldenness of my Wallabies jersey, and of the goldenness of my heart. Now, out of the goldenness of my heart, I'm confused as to what goes on again. Do we do the same thing?
Yeah.
Bit more onion goes on. Make sure you get plenty of it. You actually really want that onion breath in the morning, because if you've had a one night stand, it's the fastest way to get rid of them after it's happened. So make sure you've had plenty of onion. This is actually why McDonald's is so popular. Guys, everyone gets Maccas after, the big night out, and they go home knowing that they're gonna have a Big Mac. And once they have it, off she goes the next morning. They're out of there. Onion breath sucks, no one likes it. Alright, so we did that. Now, I have the memory of a goldfish, so we're in trouble again. I think the lettuce is next. We are good. Alright, a bit more of the old rabbit food here. Now we have some more cheese coming up here. Now, guys, you can tell that I've never been a gainful employee of McDonald's Limited, but they are good. Next, we're going to put on our pickles again. Once again, we're going to get these around and make sure there's plenty of, because they are always delicious. Now, we're just going to put a cheeky bit of bread back on top with a bit of sauce. Get your sauce, dollop it on. Redo that because you never got enough the first time. Give it a good squiz around. Yep, she's spilling out the sides. Now, I reckon you've got about half a kilo of sauce on by this time, so you should be pretty happy. That's pretty good. So I went down to Mackie D's this half, and I picked up one of these. It was only actually about 15 minutes before I just made this. So it is still fresh. So I've got it here. Firstly, I got some of their Big Mac sauce to challenge mine just to see how I went, because you should see how you went. Trial and error is great. Well, presentation, I give them about a 1 out of 10. Presentation here, I give that about a 3 out of 10. But look, it's a good thing. Let's have a taste of that. Now that's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's not great. Sample this. There is a spoon in there I could have used, but I'm going to dip my finger. Oh,
Yours definitely better.
this could be better than, I won't even say it. I wouldn't even say it. I wouldn't dare who's holding the camera, but I tell you what, it's pretty bloody good. Now, Big Mac sauce, it's pretty simple stuff, but it really lights up the burger, and I'm going to taste that again. Yeah, I see why it's so popular, but at the same time, the amount of chemicals in that bad boy, it does not float my boat. Alright, the great unveiling of the Houdini himself, the Big Mac. Now, I haven't actually even opened this yet, so we're going to find out how they present it themselves.
Ooh.
Alright, there is a bun, we can see that. Let's flip him out. Be kind to him, be kind to him. Now, remember, this is full carbs, guys, so don't feel bad. Now, look, he looks alright.
It looks not very saucy.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Where is the sauce?
What's going on here?
Do you think maybe they thought you wanted it off the burger and on the side?
Yeah, maybe. Did I order a Big Mac as a side? Sorry, I did not. Alright, let's have a peel under here. Oh yes. So I've got some burnt onions, 2 pickles, and some of the sauce with a bit of wilted onion. Lettuce. Delicious. No sauce. Meat. 1 cheese. Out of all of that, I got 1 cheese. Well, guys, I can tell you what. Let's go back through my burger edition. Sauce and 4 pickles. A serious amount of meat. A cheese. A lettuce. An onion. A sauce. A shitload of sauce. And a bread. Lots of pickles. Lots of meat, lots of cheese, lots of lettuce, lots of sauce, and a bread. To be honest, guys, I don't think there's that much competition between McDonald's and I. They're a massive multicultural, multi-million corporation. And I'm the little guy at home cooking a burger. So I know it's hard for them to accept the fact that my burger is way better. But at the same time, I'm excited to eat my burger more than I'm excited to eat theirs. Let's give them both a go. The time has come. Let's hit this bad boy. That is some seriously good burger. For something that's pretending to be something else, that has lit my life up. The only things that make me happier than that are my wife and this Big Mac, really, to be honest. Oh, I love my pets. I'm gonna have another go at that. That is seriously good. If that doesn't provide you with the satisfaction you've been looking for after searching for this recipe, I don't know what will. This is not gonna break the bank in your nutrition. It's gonna be awesome in the taste, trust me. It's absolutely insane. That pitiful thing here, look, I'm gonna have a taste of it, but honestly I don't think I'm gonna bother going much more than one bite on that one. I'd rather park my bum on a seat with this one. And by the end of it, I can guarantee that the rolls, they're very solid rolls, so they will take you out. And that's what you want when you're having a burger. You want one roll, and you want to be done. You don't want to be stuffing yourself full of rolls. Otherwise you'll end up with a lot of rolls. One of my old favorites, used to love this bad boy. We're gonna give him a crack. Let's open him up. Look at that. Absolutely sloppy as hell. But look, we know they're good. We all know they're good. Let's give it a crack. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's just not great. It is a letdown after having that. I'll reconvene eating my actual burger, and my dog can have that one because he might turn his nose up at it, but look, I don't care. I'm gonna eat this.